first?
Do you want me to do that first?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Chair, I move that we leave non-public session.
Second.
Motion to leave non-public by Council Spencer, second by Council Katz-Corus. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And I'll also make a motion to seal the minutes indefinitely. Sorry. Seal the minutes indefinitely.
Okay,
Second.
motion to seal the minutes indefinitely, Council Spencer, second by Council Katz-Corus. On the motion, Councilor Cherichello,
Yes.
Council Spencer,
Yes.
Council Katz-Corus.
Yes.
Councilor
Yes.
Genesi, Councilor McEachran.
Yes.
And Chair votes yes, minutes are sealed. Good evening, welcome to the Derry Town Council meeting for Tuesday, November 7th. Council Katz-Corus, would you
Yes,
please
sir.
lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
For those here, the exits are in the back of the room. Please silence your cell phones if you haven't already. And we'll do a roll call. Councilor Cherichello.
Good evening.
Councilor Spencer.
Good evening.
Councilor Katz-Corus.
Good evening.
Councilor Genesi.
Good evening.
Councilor McEachran. Good evening. And Councilor Flood cannot join us this evening. And good evening from the chair. Entertain a motion.
I'll move that we go into our open public forum.
Second.
Motion on the public forum by Councilor Spencer, seconded by Councilor Genesi. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public forum is now open. The meeting is yours. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Karen Blanford Anderson. I'm at 12 Village Brook Lane. Tonight I'm here to represent the Heritage Commission again. This coming November 18th will be Alan Shepard's 100th birthday. As everybody knows, Alan Shepard was a NASA astronaut. He grew up in Derry, graduated from Pinkerton Academy, and we'll be celebrating his birthday at the Derry Museum of History, 11 to 2 o'clock on Saturday, November the 18th, with a special ribbon cutting ceremony for the new Alan Shepard display. The junior historians have put in a lot of time and effort to put together this new display, so we're looking to launch that, as well as the first public look at the new museum update. So I want to officially invite everybody here on the council, as well as anybody in the public that would be interested in coming. The History Museum, if anybody doesn't know, is in the lower level of the Opera House at 29 West Broadway.
The date again?
Thank you. Saturday, November 18th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
Hello, Steve Trefethan, business owner on Broadway and property owner. I said I'd come up and let everybody know about where the exit's going. So we're in the middle of negotiating our property, trying to get land to build that shopping center I showed you guys earlier. And the state would kind of like to hold it for what we don't know. They, for those who are here that weren't here in 2018-19 when they had the last public hearing, the state added a watershed that took the deepest lots and shocked the council and me and everybody else. And we didn't know about that when we were giving them $5 million, and we didn't know about that the day before they did it. They told me they put it in there that day. So that really made it tough. There's 9 lots over there we can build on. I have the 2 deepest lots and the biggest lots. There's a lot next to me that is deep and long, but they put the drainage canal there, so that ends a lot of that lot. And then there's one that's 3/4 the size, and then there's nothing. So if they were to try to keep the land, we don't do anything. Now, the other thing they did recently was, this is typical of the state, and besides, they haven't cut the grass yet neither. So that's what we're going to have for the next 10 years. But the other thing they did recently was they widened a 10-year easement. Now, my appraiser, what that means is we can't build 10 years. When I question them on it, they say, well, it's probably 4 or 5. But it's a 10-year easement. When I question my appraiser, he's done projects like the Big Dig, he's doing Anheuser-Busch. He said that's the last time he has seen a 10-year easement on anything, something the size of the Big Dig. And they put it on our little lots right off So what could happen here is we could end up with nothing there. We've already lost about over $200,000 in taxes in the last 3-4 years. We'll be losing well over $200,000 a year with no tax base. There'll be one building there and a car lot, just a garage. You're not going to get much. So I wanted to update you on that. Obviously, we're trying to get them to agree to, let's do this all together so we can go into planning, do our shopping center, do the plans now, get it approved, and then while they're digging their trenches, we could do our utilities in, and then at least within 3 to 4 years when they're done, we'll have that much done, and then we can start the building. That's a way to get up in 5 years. It's still going to cost us another $1 million, but that's a way to get there. If not, it'll be 10 years and you won't get there. You will have more weeds, because I'm going to let my weeds grow as high as theirs, so that all the weeds match. And of course, Londonderry's having a field day with our $5 million. So I just want to give you an update. I may need the council. My attorney said, gee, you should get a letter or something, Steve, because he's going to send him something that says, hey, get with the program. We don't split this up over 10 years. And I'm trying to do what I can, but I thought I'd update everybody. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak?
Tom Carden, 2 Cunningham Drive. I wasn't going to say anything tonight, but after Karen got up and spoke about Alan Shepard, I just think it's time that the town does something for Alan Shepard, some type of a monument or whatever. I know there's been several committees to work on some type of a statue for him. The last one that I was on was absolutely awful. It was a train wreck waiting to happen, but I just think something should be done for Alan Shepard. I think he was, it's a big part of the town, and we should take advantage of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good idea.
Anybody else wish to speak? Owen, anyone?
Seeing
online?
none, rise online, Mr. Chair.
Seeing no one online and no one rising here, one last time. Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close public hearing, seconded by Council Spencer. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Consent agenda 23-118, approved minutes from October 17th, 2023. And consent agenda item number 23-119, accept resignation from the planning board.
Move to approve consent agenda as read by chair.
Second.
Motion by Councilor McEachran, seconded by Councilor Spencer. On the motion, Councilor Cherichello. Yes. Councilor Spencer.
Yes.
Councilor Katsoukaris.
Yes.
Councilor Grassi.
Yes.
Councilor McEachran. Yes. And chair votes yes, motion carries. Agenda adopted. Chairman's report. I have nothing really other than happy Veterans Day to those past, present, and future. And I'm just gonna make sure I don't mess up the times here. This Saturday at McGregor Park, there will be ceremony beginning at 10:30. There will be a Veterans Day ceremony, and then there'll be an open house at the VFW at 11:30 till 1 p.m. immediately following after that. At 1 o'clock, there will be a visit to the Pleasant Valley Nursing Home. At 2 o'clock, there'll be a visit to the Derry Center for Rehabilitation and Nursing. And that morning, there will be a blessing of the veterans at St. Luke's Church at 10 a.m. And then at 3 p.m., they'll finish the day at Birch Heights. Also, tomorrow morning, West Running Brook will be holding a veterans breakfast at 7:45 to those interested. And Pinkerton Academy will be holding one on Friday at 7 a.m. to 9:30. And that's all I have. Mr. Administrator.
Okay, thank you. Well, Mark gets set up for his Q1 financial reports. A couple things is that typically folks are used to having the offices closed if an observed holiday is on a weekend. The exception is our transfer station. So it's important to recognize that our transfer station will be open on Friday, November 10th, although it will be closed, but it will be closed in the actual Veterans Day, which is Saturday. And same thing regarding the Thanksgiving weekend. The transfer station will be closed Thanksgiving, and it will be open that Friday and Saturday following the Thanksgiving, so November 24th and 25th. Also, a couple more community events. November 18th is Households Hazardous Waste Day. We always partner with the town of Londonderry on this issue, and it's being hosted by Londonderry. It's from 8:30 a.m. to 12 noon at Nelson Fields, which is behind the Londonderry Town Hall on Route 128. Okay, from 8:30 a.m. to 12 noon on Saturday, November 18th. Visit our website for more specific information. Also, November 25th is the Very Dairy Holiday Parade and Tree Lighting, which is an all-day event downtown. And finally, just a notification from the town is that the town council a couple of years ago amended Town Code Chapter 55. That regulates food services establishments, and so what the council did a few years ago is you enacted some regulations which may allow dogs on the premises at the owner's discretion. The state legislature has adopted statewide rules regarding that, so it supersedes our local regulations. So as we go to have our codes updated by general code, we'll strike out that section and we'll put a general notification in it saying that any rules regarding dogs and premises, please check RSA 46644. No action is required by the council, just general notification. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mark.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mark.
Everyone hear me okay? Excellent. Okay, this is the first quarter financial report for the period ending September 30th, 2023. He's up. So September is 25% through the fiscal year. That's our benchmark for this report. This report is going to report on general operational revenues and expenses. General fund operations do not include taxes, overlay, TIF, capital, and EMT revenue or expenses. And also, revenues and expenses can run higher due to contractual obligations booked for the entire year in any given period. So for FY24, as of 9/30/23, our revenues were 21% of budget. Our expenses were 33% of budget. A year ago, we were at 66% of budget for revenues and 54% of expenses of budget for expenses. The big difference there really is the $20 million bond that we received in the first quarter last year for revenue. And we also moved that $20 million over to some capital project funds, so that's an expense in the general fund. Some of the revenues that are actually above our 25% budget benchmark. For fire, we have receipt of contracted ambulance and dispatch services. And also ambulance revenue is trending above budget. For tax, motor vehicle registrations is 27.1% of budget. The tax collector reports that recent transactions have included higher-end vehicles, increased volume in private sales, as well as title applications, and also model year 2024 registrations. Overall, motor vehicle revenue is $14,600 higher than a year ago. In IT, intergovernmental revenue from cable, water, and wastewater was processed. In OMO, interest revenue is 112.5% of budget. For town clerk, marriage licenses and vital records are trending above 25%, and civil forfeiture revenue is 138.2% of budget. In planning applications, 123.8% of budget, and in code, building permits are trending above 25% of budget. Some of the revenues that are below the 25% benchmark at this point. For administration, business license revenue is 12.5% of budget. In health, permit revenue is 14.3% of budget, but most activity for that line item happens in the third and fourth quarter. For police, the school resource officer billing at Pinkerton will be processed in the fourth quarter. Human services repayment of assistance is presently at 0. For cemetery, burial and cremation revenue is less than 25% of budget, and there'll be a transfer from the cemetery trust happening in the second quarter. For recreation, transfers from the Alexander Carr McGregor Trust also will happen in the second quarter, as well as a transfer to parks out of the Alexander Carr Trust. In highway, inspection fees are 10.5% of budget. The transfer station, cardboard and aluminum recycling revenue is trending less than 25% of budget. On the expense side, departments are trending individually between 16% and 80% of budget for expenses. A few items that are trending below 25% for expenses. In fire, we have 7 paramedic/firefighter positions that are vacant. In police, we have 4 patrolmen and 1 dispatcher position that's vacant. Some expenses that are actually exceeding 25% In fire, their overtime is 50.9% of budget, and that's offset due to vacancies. In IT, the annual software support payments were processed in the first quarter. In OMO, the earned time buyouts with roll-ups is 39.8% of budget. In assessing, 6 months of assessing contract has been encumbered. Human Services, annual agency payments is encumbered. In highway, the annual roadway maintenance and road salt is encumbered. And the transfer station, annual contracted services is encumbered. Some other information we'd like to share. From July of 2022 to September 30th, 23, accrued interest on unspent fire station and culvert bond and bond premium proceeds totaled $940,050. The interest rate for that account at 9/30/23 was 5.44%. The town's average general fund interest rate was 4.37 for September 2023. A year ago, it was 1.24. We are seeing a slowing of increases in the interest rates, however. And that's what I have, so who has questions?
Councilor Pierciello.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All right, just the last bullet point where it says interest rates increases have slowed recently. I'm finding a difference of opinion there where I'm seeing interest rates are actually going up. And so my question is do we have the general fund, this would be the treasury that we actually put into CDs, correct?
Yes, the general fund interest rate, it seems to be slowing down. The increases were high. They were going up and up. You can see from a year ago where it was, but it seems to be slowing a bit.
Okay. So my question is on that 4.37, is that something that was locked in a little while ago, or how are you doing? Are you doing any laddering on the CDs?
We were doing laddering, however, we ended up, the treasurer ended up finding a bank down in Mass that basically gave us a great rate, over 5%, if we gave them $5 million, and we put aside some school payments for that, and we basically laddered it ourselves out of that to make the school payment from from July to September. So we were laddering before, but we didn't want to tie up our money in case we needed to get a hold of it right away.
Okay. And so correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, when you do laddering, right, with CDs, you're doing, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months,
Correct.
18 months. So every 3 months, something's opening up.
Right.
So you're not going to be caught with money tied up for long periods of time, correct?
You're right, but you're still tying it up for 30 days, where you never know if somebody needs something right away. We were just trying to maximize the best rate we could, which was like 5.25%. But we have other investments in other banks too. We don't have anything tied up in a CD at the moment.
Okay. Because I'm seeing rates at like 5.5, maybe even a little bit higher.
Okay, well,
But anyway, that's just,
the treasurer does her research on that, and it's her decision on where we put our money.
yep, just curious because I'm seeing the 4.37 and know that there's other numbers out there, so.
Right.
Higher numbers. Thank
Okay.
you.
Councilor McEachern.
On the cardboard and aluminum, are we seeing a lower rate per ton, and that's why the revenue is down? Or are we seeing less tonnage? Or do you know?
I do not know that. I could find out from
Okay.
Mike Fowler.
I'm just curious, because we hear that from time to time from the transfer station. It'd be nice to see if we're seeing lower rates or lower tonnage.
We can find that out.
I'm just
Okay.
curious as to why. And all the other stuff that's below or above, a lot of it is contractually obligated, comes in different quarters. So generally, in your opinion, we're on track, everything's looking good?
Yes.
Where we know we're below, we understand it. Where we're above, we know it's the payment is this term and not the third quarter.
we-
Overall, we're solid.
I believe we are. Dave and I converse every week over revenues. I send him a report every week and try to figure out trends, and if it goes too long, we talk about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, the chart makes a lot of sense, having done this for quite a while and, you know, aware of what comes in sometimes sooner than later and what holds back, so
Timing is everything.
it looks good.
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate your feedback.
Anyone else? Nope. That's it. Thank you, Mark.
Okay.
That's it, okay. Moving on to new business, 23-120, Resolution 2023-077, to authorize an option to purchase agreement on 19 Elm Street. Mr. Karen.
Yes, thank you. The resolution before you is allow us to sign an option to purchase agreement with Trident Building LLC for 19 Elm Street. This will be a true workforce housing project. It is financed by New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority with the use of some tax credits. And essentially, they're really starter housing for residents, and they're looking probably to seek approvals for up to 24 units on that site. And it's a good offset for us, looking at all the market rate housing currently on the drawing board for the planning board. So the Trident building has extensive experience in redeveloping these properties, so we recommend that the council approve the option to purchase agreement with Trident Building LLC.
Questions?
No, I think that we've had multiple discussions on this, and this is a great project that was presented to us after, as you said, Dave, a lot of people came and went, so I think we've got a good project in front of us. Workforce housing will be a great addition to that area of town. So seeing no other councils
Any
have
questions?
questions, I'm going
I
to
just have a
read the
comment.
resolution.
Council Churchill.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want people to know that we had worked on this piece for a long time on 19 Elm Street. And I was adamant that I really was trying to get the money that the town has invested back into getting that back. But as town administrator said, that we tried different avenues, and it was very tough to market that property. So I feel that once it's built, then we capture that in assessed value. So eventually we'll get our money. So that, coupled with the fact that because I am in, this is what I do for a living, real estate, and as Mr. Karen had mentioned, there's a really big shortage of housing across the state. We're 60,000 units behind, and that affects the unemployment rates and whatnot, and trying to attract people. So, but I wanted people to know that I tried to get that money that we have already invested, but just didn't work out. So I'll be supporting this project.
Right, yeah, to that point, it's been a very daunting task over the last few years dealing with that property, so. You have any?
Ready for the resolution?
Take it away.
Resolution number 202377, to authorize an option to purchase agreement on 19 Elm Street. Whereas Section 5.1 of the Town Charter designates the Town Council as the governing and legislative body of the town, and as such, it is empowered to purchase and convey real property for the benefit of the town, and whereas the town has previously performed substantial environmental remediation work at 19 Elm Street and seeks to return the property to the tax rolls, whereas the town has been negotiating with development team to provide workforce housing on this site, and now therefore be it resolved in council that the town administrator is authorized to execute an option to purchase agreement for 19 Elm Street with Trident Building LLC. Resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage, adopted November 7th, 2023.
Second.
Motion by Council McEachran, second by Council Katsoukaris. On the motion, Council Churchill.
Yes.
Council Spencer.
Yes.
Council Katsoukaris.
Yes.
Council Granessi.
Yes.
Council McEachran.
Yes.
The chair votes yes, motion passes 6-0. Councilor comments. Council Spencer.
Thank you. I just wanted to echo your earlier sentiments of just thanking all our veterans ahead of this Veterans Day. And hopefully everybody has a chance to participate in some activity over the next week on Saturday morning here in Derry to thank our veterans and take that time to do that. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I just want to, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, just let people know that tax bills are coming in December. And I just want people to know that on the county side of things, taxes in Derry will actually go down. Now, you're not going to save a ton of money, but the fact of the matter is the county, on the county's tax portion, will be lower than the previous year. So that's important to know. Thank you.
Anyone else? gonna read this. Little ways away, but Saturday, November 25th is Shop Small, Shop Local. So on that day, that's also the day of the holiday parade here in town. So there'll be a lot of fun activities downtown, whatnot. So we do have a meeting on the 21st, I believe is the next meeting, right? So I'll do a reminder then, but just mark your calendars, November 25th, for a fun day of events and shop locally. You should do that all the time, but especially on that day. Anyone else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion to adjourn, seconded by Council Spencer. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.